What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So just listen to an interview, undefeated, unified WBC, IBF welterweight superstar boxer Errol the True Spence Jr. just did. And he talked about, obviously, a plethora of things. His car accident that took place October 10th, his fight with Sean Porter, his future fights with Danny Swift Garcia, Manny Pacquiao, possibilities of facing undefeated WBO welterweight pound for pound king Terence Crawford, and possibly Keith Thurman, right? And, you know, just a plethora of other things, right? But I want to talk about this, and we're going to break down this series, this whole interview, piece by piece, right? But let's talk about the Terence Crawford situation. He stated that, Terence Crawford is just too small for him. He says it's a legacy fight, but he's going to beat up Terence Crawford and stop Terence Crawford. He says that if Kavaluskas, the Mean Machine, could drop him and Yuriokis Gamboa could hurt him, he says, then I'm going to stop him. He says that I'm motivated. I'm highly motivated now. A lot of things has changed. He said, I'm ready to go. He said, I'm motivated like when I was 5-0. He says, leading up into the fight with Mikey Garcia, I wasn't locked in and focused. I had to sit in the sauna for 2 hours before the weigh-in. He said going into the Sean Porter fight, I was 190 pounds. He said, so there was a lot going on. He said, but the car accident that he suffered, woke him up. And let's just listen to what he said about Terence Crawford, and then let's talk about that real quick.
For a stoppage then, Errol, is that what you're telling me, that you'd stop him? Or would you rather beat him up for 12 rounds?
Nah, definitely. If that guy, the Russian dude, whoever you fought, could knock him down or to drop him,
Kavaluskas.
I definitely have a great chance of stopping him. I think that he's been hurt by Gamboa too, so I definitely have a great chance to stop him. But I respect his skill set. He got good skills, but I think I definitely stop him, especially how focused I am right now. Because usually even the Sean Porter fight, I was blowing up to like. When Sean Porter and Mike Garcia fight. Matter of fact, the Mike Garcia fight, the day of the weigh-ins, I had to sit in a sauna for like 2 hours. I didn't sweat.
Really?
And I had a sauna bag on and everything. And I didn't sweat till like probably an hour to being in the sauna. And I didn't sweat at all. Even the Sean Porter fight, like, I had blown up to like 190 or something like that. And then, I had to lose it all. And then, killing myself to make weight.
Why was that, Errol? Why?
So you see what he said, that his focus now, and he said he respect Terence Crawford's skill set. He respect what Terence Crawford brings to the sport and to the ring. He says, but a focus himself, locked in, and the size difference, he's going to break Terence Crawford down and stop him. You heard what he said. He said that even for the fights with Sean Porter and Mikey Garcia, he wasn't focused. Even though those were big fights in his career, he just wasn't that focused. So he said with Terence Crawford, he's going to be highly focused as he is right now. He's hungry, right? He's going back to the drawing board. He said that even Derrick James, his trainer, said that he's hitting a lot harder. He said that he is definitely hitting a lot harder, and that's due to the fact that he's excited. He can't wait. He's looking forward to training camp, so he's locked in. This is going to be a legendary fight, like he said. He said he want the youth, the guys coming up behind him, to look at this fight with him and Terence Crawford as a legendary fight. Like they have on ESPN, they have legendary nights, legendary fights with Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Hagler, Lennon, and things of that nature. He said so he wants people to look back at the Terence Crawford fight in the same manner as they do with those fights. So, but he definitely said he's locked in and he's focused. What Terence Crawford brings to the table, this is a 50-50 fight. Terence Crawford brings to the table ability to make adjustments. Terence Crawford, does see himself in a dogfight. And that's another thing Errol Spence said. He said that at times Terence Crawford just can't help himself. He just wants to get into a barn burner. He says, so with that, he believes that he's going to stop him. So this is going to be a legend. He said it's a legacy defining fight. And he talked to Al Heyman, and he said that they discussed this fight, and they believe that when the time is right, the fight is going to happen. He said that he hears a lot of Terence Crawford fans talking about he's ducking him. He said, I never ducked nobody in my life. He said when the fight is ready to happen and the money is right, it's gonna happen. He said that he likes Terence Crawford. He's a stand-up guy. He likes Manny Pacquiao. He's a stand-up guy. He likes Danny Garcia. He's a stand-up guy. He said he don't like Sean Porter because he just be talking just to talk, and he don't like Keith Thurman because he believes he's fake. But getting back to the Terence Crawford fight, I believe that this is going to be a heck of a fight. I think it's going to be, a lot of strategy. I think it's going to be, a lot of technique and a lot of posing at times, right? Because they're going to be hesitant to make a mistake. You understand? When you got a fight of this caliber. But, I used to say before that I believed that Terence Crawford would win this fight because I felt like Terence Crawford had the necessary tools to make the necessary adjustments to beat Errol Spence. But like I said, Terence Crawford allowed Errol Spence to garner more experience in big fights. He allowed Errol Spence to catch up to him, as far as being under the big lights and just getting more experience in fights, right? Facing different styles. So he's been in there with a style like Showtime Sean Porter, who's very awkward, right? Very difficult to deal with. He's been in there with a Mikey Garcia, who's a boxer puncher, right? He's been in there with a Chris Algieri, who's a pure boxer, just utilizes the ring, right? And now he's going to go into a fight with Danny Garcia, right? So now he's going to be in there with a power puncher in the likes of a Danny Garcia, right? So he's been in there with a pressure active fighter like Sean Porter, and he's been in there with a Mikey Garcia who's a thinker and a counter puncher. He's been in there with he'll be in there with a Danny Garcia who's a counter punching power puncher, right? So, he's garnering a lot of experience. So, and he's focused. The biggest thing about this is he's focused, he's locked in, and he's ready to go. And this is going to be a heck of a fight. I think it's a 50-50 fight, and I can't call it anymore. So I'm glad that he's talking about it. Obviously, we all locked in, and we got to be safe due to the pandemic that we're facing with this virus going around. So everybody have to be safe, and it's we don't truly have a date when everything is going to resume. But this is great news, man. I love the talk from Errol Spence. I think that Errol Spence is learning lessons, and I think that he may edge out Terence Crawford now. I think that him garnering all this experience and facing all these different styles is just giving him the necessary tools for him to make adjustments when Terence Crawford makes adjustments. And it seems like to me, in that last fight, Kavaluskas, the Mean Machine, Terence Crawford may have been slipping a little bit. So let's see how this all plays out. Terence Crawford did get dropped by Kavaluskas in that fight. And it was a tougher fight than expected. The fight with Jose Benavidez was a tougher fight than expected. Although he got the victories, he got the nods, stoppage victories. Also, too, like Errol Spence said, the Gamboa fight, he was hurt in that fight. And I think that was more or less the fact that Terence Crawford just don't respect their power. And sometimes Terence Crawford just, don't respect anybody's power. He's just a dog. And that might be the case when he faced Gamboa and Benavidez and Kavaluskas. He won't be the same. I don't believe you're going to see the same version of Terence Crawford that you saw in those fights. I think it's a whole different version of Terence Crawford that you're going to see. He's going to be a lot more focused. He's going to make a lot less mistakes. And so that's what's going to make this a high-level chess match. And I can't wait to see how it plays out. And I think that, Errol Spence being in there with Danny Garcia and the Sean Porters and the Mikey Garcias, while Terence Crawford is fighting the likes of Amir Khan, who pretty much quit. And then he fought Jose Benavidez, just not on their level. You got to, even though you have all the tools, you have all the skills, you still have to hone your craft. You still have to work at it. You still have to be in there with guys that's going to test you, right, and push you. And yes, these guys pushed Terence Crawford, it looked like, on the surface, because I believe that's just due to the fact that he just didn't respect them. So he gave them the opportunity to have success. Meaning that he took a lot more chances than he would against a Sean Porter, against a Errol Spence, against a Keith Thurman and a Manny Pacquiao, because Terence Crawford just didn't respect what they bring to the table. So I think that it's a lot more to do with him not respecting them, opposed to them actually, dragging them into, opposed to them their skill set being successful against him, right? He gave them the opportunities. So it's more or less what he did opposed to what they did, right? So he won't make that mistake against Errol Spence like he did Victor Postile. Victor Postile was a very dangerous opponent, and we saw the approach that Terence Crawford took to that fight. It was cautious. He was defensively smart, defensively responsible, and he was counter-punching. He was boxing. You know, so that's the version of Terence Crawford I'm expecting to see against Errol Spence, because he knows what Errol Spence brings to the table. So, like I said, this is a 50-50 fight, and I can't wait to see how this fight plays out. You know, so we'll talk about it and break down more of this interview. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the video. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.